Welcome to Generation Jones, Too Young to Be Old. I'm your host, Wendi Cooper, and this is where we have conversations with remarkable people over 50 who have shaped our world. I do hope you enjoy the show. Staying motivated to reach your goals really comes down to three things: movement, nutrition, and support. Since you can design your health, why not create and maintain the ultimate state of wellness you are capable of achieving? The principles behind ageless health are simple. Bobbi Parker-Hall's programs, philosophies will guide you towards the recognition that you have control over what happens to you regarding your health and wellness. She's been helping women for over 20 years get in the best shape of their lives and stay that way. Her science-based programs are designed and infused with a mind, body, spirit approach for the modern woman that sees herself staying strong, sexy, and active well into her later years. Bobbi believes that goals are not defined by age. Bobbi Parker-Hall, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, I have looked forward to this interview for so long.
Me too.
And we're going to try to keep it fun and try to keep it light. And because I know that you've been through a lot in your life, we've talked about that on our conversation that we actually found out that your daughter knows people directly that my son knows. And yes. It was, it's so weird how life is so serendipitous and,
really small world.
Such a small world. So I'd love to start with your entering a bikini contest. At what age were you when your friend convinced you to do that?
I was 55.
Oh my God, I can't even believe it. I don't think I've worn a bikini since I was 55.
Yeah, I didn't even want to wear one. So the thought of doing it was so scary.
Okay, so you need to tell me about that, because how did you even get the courage, number one, to do that? Number two, what was it that you didn't like about your body at that time? Because your body right now is like rock solid, super awesome. And you're only 60.
Yes.
You're only 60.
Yeah.
So did you not like your body at the time because it was super beautiful, but you just thought it wasn't? Or...
Probably a little of both, right? I think, as women, we all have issues. Most of us have unhealthy issues around our bodies. I think that's called body dysmorphic issue, where we think that we're probably, fatter than what we actually are. We think our legs are too chunky. We think our arms are too flabby. And in reality, it's really not that bad, So I think I definitely had some of that going on, but also just a lot of maybe more deep unhappiness, just because I was in a marriage that was very, very difficult for a long time, and we worked really hard at it to try and make it work. But at that point in my life, it was becoming obvious that it wasn't going to work. And so this bikini competition came up kind of at a time in my life when I decided, I really need something to refresh me. I need something new. And so I decided to do it and worked. My girlfriend talked me into doing it, and it was one of the best things I'd ever done because it gave me a focus away from all my marital problems to focus on just myself and this goal I had. So it really sharpens you, makes you laser focused, and you feel a real sense of accomplishment through doing it. So
yeah, so it's really about setting that goal and going after that goal. I know personally, I think I told you, I just have like this funk of I used to spin a lot. I used to spin for 9 years, spinning and yoga.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I did that after I went through cancer and I went through chemotherapy, which it causes you to gain a lot of weight. People think you go through cancer, you lose weight. You don't. You gain a whole lot of steroid weight, and it takes forever for it to come off of you. But spinning was the one thing. I went to this really kind of cool little place, not like a Soul Cycle or like any of the flywheel stuff. It was before they were around, but it was really something that I really enjoyed doing. And it's just gotten, for me, in the past year, and I'm sure that there's a lot of listeners that feel the same way. The older that you get, the more you kind of, your mindset goes, do I, and then, but then you go on social media now and you see all of these women fit up after 40, 50, 60, 70, yourself, my goodness. And it's like, well, if she can do it, I can do it. But
Yeah.
But I look at myself in the mirror and I go, I'm gonna just wear it all on sleeve right now. I just look at myself in the mirror and I go, okay, from the neck up, not even from the neck up, from the chin up, I'm okay. But from the neck down, it's like,
You look
where
great.
no, you have not seen me naked.
So you have it too.
Oh my God, I have this, like, it used to be my arms. I used to really thought, well, my arms look good. My arms don't even look good anymore. My point is that when we get to a certain age, and you being in fitness so much, our bodies don't respond the way that they did in the past, right?
Right. Right.
The job just gets more difficult. And when you went through your bikini transition, right, saying, okay, I'm going to go for it. I'm just going to put on that bikini and here I come, world. I'm going to work out. How long did it take you? What was that period of time that you start to finish? And then did that really just parlay you, obviously, into a more of a wellness, because you've always been in fitness, right?
Exactly. I think it definitely took me, it evolved me even further into being more. Now, I'd already had layers of muscle because I'd been working out for so long. But I think that it took me to that next level where, you have to stand up basically naked on stage is what it feels like, because the bikini is about this big, top and bottom. And so the thought of that is huge motivation. And then the thought of, what you're actually doing is huge motivation. And so, yes, so that having that goal in front of you definitely helps drive you. But I've been where you're at times in my life where I just haven't had any motivation. I think that's totally normal. And especially the older we get, I think that it can be harder to find that motivation. And so
it's, I found out the other day that, like, I've always had a low thyroid. Mm-hmm. And people, everyone, men and women, I think they have to consider that their genetic makeup or their makeup, right? And it's, and then when I had my physical done and I had a blood test done, I've always had a low thyroid, but I've always been on medication for my low thyroid. So many women have hypothyroid, right? Mm-hmm. But then I realized when I got this blood test done that my blood test came back that my thyroid was not only at the rock bottom, but it was like way below what the rock bottom is. And then I looked at all the symptoms of a low thyroid, and one of them happens to be not wanting to work out. If that's weird. I mean, but it is. It's like,
no, that's interesting.
Your metabolism kind of stops, your hair gets brittle, your skin gets dry, you have constipation, you have no desire. This one said you have no desire to basically go to the gym. That's what it said.
My gosh.
And I went,
I better go get my thyroid checked too, because I think that's huge. And I know a lot of women have that, and it kind of makes you feel a little bit depressed too, right?
Well, it makes you feel depressed. So, it makes you feel that you can't lose weight very easily. It just kind of messes with you because your thyroid and your pituitary gland is what really controls your metabolism. And so if all of that is messed up, it's like I used to just love to do an hour of spinning and then go and do an hour of yoga right after spinning when I'm all sweaty from spinning. And that desire just does not live anywhere in this body. But
so are you on medication now, and is it helping?
Yeah. I've always been on medication for the past 20 years. It's just that my medication was off.
Oh, okay. Right? So is it fixed now, or?
Well, it takes like 6 weeks before you know if your thyroid is so they adjust your medication, right? Okay. But I was on medication, but once again, doctors aren't paying attention to it. If you look at your blood test, I look at my blood test and I see that it was at 0.38 last year. It was like 0.3 numbers away from it being too low. Yeah. And the doctor didn't do anything.
Yeah.
That's when they should have started to adjust my medicine. And they
Right.
didn't.
Right.
So now I've gone this whole year with a very low thyroid. And this whole year has been this whole year of me being complacent, me not really wanting to go to the gym, me not giving a crap kind of thing. And that's not okay to feel that way at
Right.
any age.
Yeah, right. But, it's good that we're talking about this because I know that there are a lot of women out there with thyroid issues at our age and a lot younger too. And it just makes you wonder, what is it in the food that we're eating? Is it because our soils aren't, what they say they used to be?
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah, mine has been
really
like this since, oh gosh, I would say at least 20 years I've been taking a thyroid.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
But besides that, so that's just a little tidbit, ladies out there, is that even as you get older, just please, always check your thyroid. If you just get to the point where you just kind of say, because we all, Bobbi, we all want to look good,
I think deep down we all do. And I think it's great. There's a lot of body positive movement out, more curvier figures out right now. And so I think that helps us feel like, we don't have to be rail skinny. We're both from the 70s and the 80s where, it was that androgynous look and we were all super skinny and that's what we wanted and no butts, no curves. And now it's nice that it's a little bit more curvier, bootier look. And so bootier, if that's a word, we can, be a little bit fuller and be a little bit more relaxed and still feel beautiful. So, we've been so hard on ourselves as far as our look.
And especially as we get older. So now your favorite quote is a quote from Madonna.
Yeah.
and what did she say? She says, no matter what your age you are, or no matter what your age, who you are, or where you come from, it's never too late to reinvent yourself. Now that the word reinvention, that word currently, because our generation Jones in particular, which is if you're born between 1964 and 1964, we're 13 people every 60 seconds are turning 60 years old. So we're having to find ways to reinvent ourselves. Right? Because we're too young to be old. We don't, the last thing I want to do ever is even think about retiring. It's not on my bucket list.
No, No, this is the time we finally get to do what we want to do. Our kids are raised and maybe we have a little bit more freedom around our work life. And we get to live our dreams. That's the way I look at my life right now anyway, is that, I'm at that point where I don't have any grandchildren yet. I don't have any, my children are all launched and I can do what I want to do. I don't have huge responsibilities financially anymore and I can live out my dreams. And so that's a great part.
Yeah, I hear that a lot. I hear that this portion, moving into the second half of life or whatever it might be, this portion of life is really more, we don't necessarily care what anybody thinks. We get to the point where I just don't care what you think, right?
Oh, that's what's great about menopause. And, you just you have it, quickly, you're over it. You're like, hey, I don't have the patience I used to have, but I also know that I don't want to not be myself. I don't want to live to other people's expectations. I want to live to mine and who I'm supposed to be. Who I'm on this earth to be. So
we spend a lot of our lives probably. I know we spend a lot of our lives pleasing other people, and then I think we get to the certain point in our life where it's not about pleasing other people. It's really us doing what we want to do for ourselves. We're not hunting and gathering and collecting stuff and things and cars and homes and that's why. And I don't know if you feel the same way, because I know you're building a whole business now on Instagram with your fitness and in social media with your fitness, what you're doing.
Yeah.
But it does have I think it has an effect on us. It has an effect on me. Let me just speak for myself. It has an effect on me to even see these lifestyles of people who are my age. It's my target audience. I have them on my show. But who are they truly living that wonderful kick-ass life that I see them living on social media? I mean, are they really? Or is it just, let's get the photographer, let's go to a location and we'll bring some wardrobe and I'll take some kind of fun, cool pictures of
Oh,
myself.
yeah.
I struggle with the authenticity of it.
Yeah.
And yet everybody is, it's a great way to be making money and to get your personal brand out there. I really am conflicted. I'm conflicted with it, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it takes kind of a while to get your mind around it. And it's definitely, there's a lot about it that's not healthy. And I mean, I think there's been a lot of studies done. I've heard that people that spend too much time on social media, you start comparing yourself to others. Other people are only presenting a certain side of themselves that looks perfect. And it's not real life because, at our age, we know everybody has problems. Everybody has stuff to deal with in life. And so in a way, it's, they can just create this creative little beautiful profile and they look like they're having a perfect life. But the ones I appreciate are the ones that are really honest and authentic, and they can look beautiful in their pictures, but they've said something that maybe kind of lifts you out of your day or gives you insight onto something maybe that you hadn't thought about before in a certain way, and so enlightens you in some way and lifts you up. And so that's what I hope I can do, or inspires you to do something better.
Yeah, well, that's your goal, right? That's your. Let's talk about your program and
Okay.
what you're doing. Your program, the entire essence of it is well-being, is self-image, is feeling good about yourself, and you're giving the tools to someone to do that. I think that this is where it's different. It's different than. Look at my beautiful long gray hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's different
Uh-huh.
than look at my beautiful long gray hair that I grew out and it's so gorgeous and I'm running down the beach.
Yeah.
That to me is different than creating a tool to improve other people's lives while it's improving your life also, by the way, because it's you now have a product that you're selling, you're making money from that, but at the same time you are you've created something that will improve other people's lives. Do you see where I'm coming from? I just think it's a
Yes.
different thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I do. I see where you're coming from. And I know a lot of that can be, on social media is fluff. And a lot of they're if maybe selling clothing or, hair products or whatever. And it looks like they're having this fantastic lifestyle and life, and so I think that it can get unless you're interested in the clothes they're buying, you know. So, but
I don't know how to get to the heart of really what it is that I feel about it, because on one hand, I love it, right? On one hand, I love it. I'm addicted to it. I look at it. I watch it. I see
it's
what
fascinating.
It's fascinating,
Isn't it?
I see it as, wow, isn't this awesome vehicle that as we age, we have this tool like podcasting.
Yeah.
We have these tools to now help us reinvent ourselves, help us take our wisdom and share it with other people in order to explore opportunities for ourselves and to, yes, build a personal brand. Because really at 63, where else am I going to, it's pretty darn hard to find a job or, go the traditional route.
Absolutely.
Who's
Yeah.
going
And
to
who wants to?
who wants to do that, right?
Yeah.
So it does give you all of these tools to leverage, but at the same time, we're human, and we we all have self-doubts. We all have shameful, like, what do they call it? Self-defeating behaviors. And that also feeds into that psychosis, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I'm just thinking, where are we going to be in 10, 15 years from now? What is the world really going to look like 20 years from now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's so the opening to a press release that you were mentioned in, it says, well, that 50 is the new 30. Right?
Mm-hmm.
People say 60 is the new 40. That's the standard 20-year span. That is that 20 years that people are attaching onto the end of life now, right? People are living to be 100. People are living to be, 85. So does that mean that retirement should happen at 85?
Yeah. No, I think that well, and actually, they did change the definition, age range of what midlife is just recently, too.
And what they changed it to 55?
Because I think, it bumped it way up. So, which is good. So that
it's logical.
Except, maybe we won't be getting those discounts as soon. At the grocery store and stuff.
My 10% off at Denny's.
Whole Foods, yeah. But yeah. Notice
how Bobbi says Whole Foods and I say Denny's.
But yeah, I think how I'm a clothes horse. I love clothing. I love to look at beautiful pictures. I love beautiful things and people. And I think that I kind of got around, because I went through the same thing you're going through, all this mindset as we're all just different people. And this is what they've always wanted to do. And so they have
bravo for them, right? I mean,
and a way to do it. So, and we're all creative. And what's great about Instagram, and I love social media, is you can really use your creativity. Yeah. You do have to have some photo skills too. Yes. Some editing skills. Yeah. So those, you got to bump up on those.
Yeah.
If you
it's great, because I come from the creative background, and I've been in advertising and marketing. And so anything that I create myself. And now I'm able to do things, that I don't have to have a graphic designer do or things
You're
like
very
that.
lucky. You're very lucky, because a lot of people our age are not, they don't have great computer skills. And so in order to jump on and do this social media thing, you got to it's like going back to college.
Well, I was in direct-to-consumer marketing since 1994. So we've always used, every medium we could use, whether it's radio, television, whatever it might have been, to sell products and to bring awareness to products. And I'm not talking about big brands, right? I'm talking about smaller brands that made hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, but those are the ones that you saw on television. And then the age came where you had to drive your television sales to the website, because that's where people were placing the orders. And, and so, and that was my specialty in doing and working in direct-to-consumer products. And so I was just fortunate to be a creative director and to be someone who, I'm not really schooled in doing Photoshop or anything like that. I'm more of the director that stands back from the microphone, stands back and basically says, this is what I want. I want this. I want this. I want it to look like this. I want it to look like that. But everything has become so simple, like Canva.com. My gosh, you can make anything you want in Canva. Anything.
Well, that is not simple for me.
Oh, that's so simple, Bobbi.
Oh, I tell you, it's been like going back to school for me, because I've had to, I'm not a graphic design person.
Neither am I, but it's just drag the photo in.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously?
Oh, no. And I'm hiring it, so it's just not my skill set. But I will try. I try it. And it's a lot to learn. There's a lot to learn when you have a business online on social media. So it's a lot different.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
When I jumped into this, I had no idea. So,
Right. So
but
do you
I'm
have
getting it.
somebody, that helps you do all of your social media, or are you pretty much doing that
I
yourself? And
do all my social media myself, but hopefully one day I'll have somebody to help me do it. And then, as far as like creating and designing things and marketing, I'll sometimes hire email automation stuff, those
oh yeah.
types of
Yeah.
technical things that I
Of course.
struggle with. But right now I'm doing everything myself.
Of course.
But
Okay.
I did, yeah, making my online videos, I had to film all of those, but I did hire people. So they're beautifully filmed and, real professional looking. And then I hired a company too to help me to market and brand myself and to put all of them on my website so that people can
Well, next
access
time you
them.
need a
So,
company to do that, remember, that's what we do. That's what I do. So
oh,
just
darn
let
it.
me
I
know.
wish I would have met you before.
Well, most people don't even think of it, but I'm just so used to people just coming to me. But then I took a year off, and then I did my toilet stool company. I have to send you a couple of toilet stools. EasyGoPro.com.
Love it.
But and now I'm just I'm just feeling my oats and trying to dive back in. I took a year off to work for this post-production company that was like the bane of my existence. And now I'm just kind of here I am, and I love my podcast. And this podcast is so awesome because ageism is such a huge thing in our society, and I like Instagram because Instagram does have this whole pro-age movement going on, and
Mhm.
it's really the only place that has that pro-age movement going on. It's not so much on other social medias. It's not like, yeah, LinkedIn, they're talking about it, but people are posting articles and things like that. And same old articles, the same thing. The retirement, we don't have a retirement, we didn't save. What's wrong with us? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
We already get that. It's, I like to talk about, well, how did that happen? How did that
Yeah.
really happen? And how did we all find ourselves in the same bucket? And, and now we're too young to be old, and we really want to reinvent ourselves, and we want to be these incredible people. And how do we do that? And so you found a way to do it by leveraging your fitness wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's the program I want to talk about now. Tell us more about that.
Yeah. So, when I did my bikini competition and got in great shape and I felt empowered, I felt strong. It kind of took me out of my box that I was in, and I realized, I can't evolve to who I want to be in this relationship. So I finally found the nerve, and it was time, and he knew it was too. And so I had all these dreams that I'd had for years boiling up inside of me, and one of them was to get my business online and to make videos. And so that was one of the first things I did. Took me a couple of years to put it together and plan it out. And last summer I filmed them all. And since I am past menopause, I wanted to aim at my market is, women 45 and up going through midlife changes, and also women that not only midlife changes, but maybe changes in life like I went through, where you do kind of need a reinvention. You need a new start. You need a reboot in life. And I think there's nothing like the power of fitness to help you do that, because I truly believe, I found it for myself, that being strong in my body has really helped me to be strong in my mind and my emotions and to figure out who I am. So I love using that exercise and fitness to encourage people to find themselves again. So, and at our age, a lot of us are starting over.
Well, we have a lot of issues when in general, we start to feel like we have different issues than we did in the past. What are your secret sauces that you have in and what is your program called, Bobbi Parker-Hall?
It's called Modern Bodies.
Okay.
And it's a workout plan that gives you a 5-day workout. It's all done at home, 30 minutes. And it's weight training and using whatever else you have at home. So body sculpting, and you get a little bit of cardio in there. One of the best ways to beat hot flashes is to exercise and to push yourself and work out a little bit hard. So not a little bit, but a lot hard. And that really helps your body control hot flashes. But then I worked with a dietitian too, to just create a diet plan for women going through menopause too, to bring them the best nutrients to help their bodies, because food is medicine, and food will help your body and your hormones regulate. Now, sometimes we need a little bit more than that, but food is the key number one thing. And then there's supplements. So did you private label supplements, or do you? No, I don't private label supplements, but I do supplemental consults with people. I'm not a doctor or anything, but I like to share what I use and what has helped me balance my hormones, and also just can make me feel good. So yeah, a lot of those are like adaptogen, not really in the vitamins section so much, but you would find them more in like the medicinal
supplements.
Supplements, medicinal mushrooms. Are fantastic. And
psilocybin mushrooms? No, I'm kidding.
No, I know. I hate to say that because everybody thinks mushrooms. But no, they're doing amazing things, finding out amazing things about mushrooms and how they help people, especially here in Oregon. A lot of them grow, and they help balance out your hormones, release stress. They're anti-tumor for cancer, for breast cancer.
Wow.
They're amazing.
Yeah, remember when everybody was eating soy? Like back in the day, everybody was like, soy, yeah, soy this, soy that, soy that. And then all of a sudden it was like, do not eat soy. Do not take soy. Do not, because of breast cancer.
And it's only fermented soy. And then,
Yeah.
And now everything has soy in it, so.
Everything has soy in it. So unless you have a problem with soy or your estrogen levels or whatever with breast cancer,
I
stuff like
think
that,
you definitely have to be careful.
Because I actually like tofu a lot. Like
I do too.
Like tofu done the right way is better than any meat.
Tofu's fried. You can't go wrong with peanut sauce.
I agree. I actually like to go to, here's a shout out to Panda Express's eggplant and tofu. That's my favorite. It's just my favorite thing to eat. Yeah. Okay, so that brings me to keto diet. Mm-hmm. Are you a keto-ite? Or a paleo person? Isn't keto and paleo pretty much the same?
They're pretty much the same. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the day, isn't keto and paleo, isn't that the same as Atkins? Because remember Atkins back in the day? That was low carbs, high protein. Yeah.
Well, the Atkins was very high protein, high fat. And I know keto is high protein, high fat.
And so is paleo.
And paleo too. And I don't know exactly what the difference is between paleo and keto, but they're close. So, but I believe in flexible dieting. I like to watch your macros. I think you've got to have a variety of food to eat. And, you have to eat what your body's craving too. So not necessarily sugar or whatever, because we do have bad cravings too. So we have to watch those things.
Well, yeah, but sugar really just boils down to refined sugar versus natural sugars, and the sugars that you might find in an orange or an apple.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I think that we just can't sit down and eat, whatever we want to. We've got to have a plan and something that's balanced and flexible. And I like the macro dieting and flexible dieting. So that just kind of opens
dieting. What's macro?
So macro is you're just watching your macros. You're eating a balanced, diet of your proteins, your fats, and your carbs. So those are your macronutrients. And so it depends on what your goal is. Usually women do really well if they stay a little bit lower on the carb side and the fat side, and a little bit higher in protein, so that we can build muscle. Because at our age too, or 30 plus, we start losing muscle.
Oh, yes.
And so
I lost mine. I actually went to find it and I couldn't find it. It's gone.
But a lot of people today are kind of going back to vegetarian, being careful with red meats and that type of thing. But I think that, that's fine too. So there's vegetarian bodybuilders also. So
yeah, the thing with vegetarians, so I went to the American Academy of Nutrition back in, so you guys have to realize that Bobbi and I really don't know that much about each other, but as we have this conversation, she's learning more and more about me. So back in the day, because my first infomercial I was involved in was a 6-day bio diet, which was organic juices from Switzerland that we brought over here and lose up to 14 pounds in just 6 days. And it was really a cleansing. It was the first juice detox cleansing, organic juices. And then I went on to create the next one, which is called Slender Secret, The Power of 4 Days, which was a 4-day juice fast. We created the juices, the teas, and everything. And that was quite successful. It became the #1 diet in Brazil. But anyway, so I was a spokesperson for both diets. And I eventually, when I did Slender Secret, because I was on HSN, I said, okay, I'll get educated. so I went to the American Academy of Nutrition and Environmental Illness, and that sounds like something really fantastic. But at the end of the day, it was really just an online course that took 2 years to complete, but it was before we had online courses. So they sent you the tons of books, and you did all of that, and then you took the test through correspondence and blah, blah, blah.
Today it would be $10,000, I'm sure.
Online, right? But it really, 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 really taught me a lot, and it certainly taught me a lot about why I was selling what I was selling, and which is kind of interesting, because when you do juice fasting and you're cleansing your body, what your goal really is to not eat any solid food. Why? We don't eat any solid food because we want our bodies to go into ketosis. And your body won't go into ketosis unless you stop the digestive process, which is this the peristalsis process, which is what makes your digestive system is doing this whole thing. If you're only drinking liquids, that stops.
It stops, yeah.
And it gives it a break. And you also are not putting any protein or anything like this into your body. So your body goes into a state of ketosis. And this is why diabetics can't do fasting diets, because they can't go into a state of ketosis. So that's why I always say, what's up with this keto diet? Because really the essence of this keto is it's so much marketing bullpucky. Right? That's not the reason I brought it up, nor do I like to always just sit here and talk about what I know. But at the end of the day, it's when you're doing a keto diet, your body is not in ketosis. Because if you really read about what ketosis is in your body, and your body should only be in ketosis for a certain amount of time.
Interesting.
Full ketosis, right? It's all marketing. It's just marketing. It's just a different way for somebody to say, okay, it's not Atkins, because it was I think it was the 70s when Atkins was like don't eat a lot of carbs, nothing white, but eat high protein.
Everybody lost weight, but they all gained it back, which is the problem I have with these diets is, once you remove a food group from a diet and you're not just eating, normal, eventually you have to go back to the normal. You have to start
psychologically. You desire so desperately to have something that you've been denied of.
Yeah. And plus, you're just naturally, you're not going to stay on that your whole life. So you have to naturally go back to adding in grains. And
our body needs grains. Our body needs grains, right? Our digestive health depends on grains. This is what goes into your digestive system, and and you need those seeds and grains and legumes and all of these things. So if everybody out there would do what what you're saying to do, find that balanced diet, right?
Yeah.
Find the balance. We need carbs. We need complex carbs. We need proteins. They feed our
Yeah.
amino acids. Our proteins are to build muscle. Our carbs are to give us energy. If you
Yeah, and have your
understand it.
cheats now and then. Have your
Absolutely.
favorite food. So you can get
Absolutely.
away with it then.
That's right. So if you're working out and you have a good balanced diet, yeah, then you can cheat. And then you don't have the psychological deprivation that goes
Yes.
along with things, which makes people quit
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely does.
at the end of the day. Where can people find you? Number one. Number two, is it a program that anybody can do it online? I see you on Instagram TV a lot, right?
Yeah, I post a lot of free workouts on Instagram TV and a lot of stretching. I love to do Tabatas because they're quick and dirty. 4 minutes and you're done with one. If you do 3 of them, you have a great kind of workout for the day. I also like to share a lot of low impact ways of working out to minimize impact on our knees and joints. And I love to teach people how to land because, we really still can be doing some nice, easy, light jumping as long as you don't have an issue, you shouldn't be jumping because of, and teaching people how you can land properly to absorb the impact, but then also just trying to make working out fun. But I do post a lot of videos on my Facebook page also, which is Bobbi Parker-Hall, Modern Bodies Tribe. So that's my group page.
That's your group. That's
my group.
Can anybody join your group?
Yeah, anybody can join. And there's a bunch of great ladies on there and super nice and really encouraging. And some of them are doing my Modern Bodies program, which you can buy at my website, which is www.bobbiparker-hall.com. And then I'm on Instagram as Bobbi Parker-Hall. So, and in Instagram, IG, I post a lot of videos and stuff too. So.
Yeah, I think your body is amazing.
No, thank you.
I mean, it's what size do you wear?
I'm probably a size 4. I mean, I'm 5'7.5", and I weigh 139 pounds. I'm muscle.
You're all muscle because you're exactly the same height as me. I weigh 140, but I'm all flab. And here's the key, people. You got to listen to this. You're a size 4 because you are the same height as me, same weight as me, but I'm a size 8.
Yeah.
Because I'm flab and you're muscle.
Isn't that interesting? So what did you weigh when you're, when you feel good? What is a good weight for you? Because I think you're smaller bone than I am.
No, this is a good weight for me. 138 is like my perfect weight. Okay?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, 138 is my perfect weight. But currently, because I haven't really worked out very much, I mean, look, you can see my arms flapping around. The proportions on my body are so messed up because, my ass is flabby, right? My legs are flabby. I mean, welcome to my world, everyone. But
she doesn't look that bad, you guys.
I'm literally at my ideal weight, pretty much at my ideal weight. It's just so disproportionate to where the muscle would be because muscle weighs way less than fat.
Right. So you just need to lift weights. So you just need to add, a couple days of weight training, sounds like.
I definitely, because the cellulite in my thighs will agree with you, for sure. The cellulite in my ass will totally agree with you.
Well, it's amazing how fast it, because I've done a couple bikini competitions since then. And, I'd be looking at the behind going, oh my gosh, how am I ever going to get rid of this? It's amazing how fast you really can once you concentrate and focus and clean up your eating.
And when we turn 50, 51, 52, 53, I really think we are going through a real transition emotionally, psychologically, physically, and so are men. Not just women.
Oh, yeah.
So are men.
Menopause.
Yeah. Yes. And it's important to support each other, right? It's just really, I think it's really important to have that support group and not, my problem is sometimes I surround myself with people who are so much younger than me just because of the entertainment industry and the things that I do, that becomes, it's like, I just got to hang with people my age more.
Yeah, I think it's important, and what you're doing, talking about it, inviting people to talk about it. So we have to bridge the gaps and support one another. I totally believe that, and lift each other up, because it's a new day for us 60-year-olds.
And we're just the epitome of age is really just a number. Seriously, age is really just a number, because
it really is.
It's so difficult to explain to people who are younger, like our kids, right? Like your daughter is 27.
32.
I have a 37-year-old son and a 27-year-old son. And it's pretty damn hard to explain to either one of them, and they're 10 years difference, two very different people, generations. They still look at me like I'm, Mom, what? You don't know what you're talking about. You're kind of old. They don't say that to me, but I know they're thinking that, don't embarrass me, kind of thing, although do they really mean that? No. Am I feeling that? Maybe yes. That's my own insecurities, but I just think that, surrounding ourselves with people, like-minded people, and developing this community of supporting each other is what's super important. And not having just a conversation about, woe is us, we have no retirement. It's such a surface conversation that's out there.
Yeah. Right. But let's talk about what we're doing with our lives and where we're heading, and it's an exciting time, I think, to be older, really, because there's so much more available and so much more to do.
That's the name of the show. You just said the name of the show. It's an exciting time to be older. It really, actually, I love that. I really embrace that. It is. And you're proof of that, Bobbi.
Oh, thank you so much. There's a big, and I think taking care of yourself helps, so there's our chronological age and our biological age.
And Bobbi's looking at me right now. We're on Skype, and she's looking right at me. And you know what she's saying? She's saying, so get your crap together, Wendi, and take care of yourself.
No, never judge.
I know. But that's what I'm feeling. And you know what? I need that encouragement.
Good.
I need
well, I'll be that for
somebody to basically slap me on the face and say, what are you doing?
I'll get out my personal training persona.
Right? Well, I have this whole space right over here in my office. It's just right over here, and it's got my yoga mat, and it has everything I need, and I can just do it right here, and I plug you in, and I'm just going to do your workouts now. I have to be committed.
Need my program,
I have to be committed. I have to be accountable, not committed. I have to be accountable.
Yeah, that's it. Just consistent.
Well, I have to be accountable. I have to be accountable, like the workout partner thing. Having a workout partner is like the best thing in the world.
The best thing,
right?
Isn't it? Yes.
Because you don't want to flake. You don't want to flake.
And it's so much more fun to work out with somebody, with a girlfriend.
Yeah, I know, but I think I'm so out of shape that nobody wants to work out with me. I'm joking. I'm not that bad. I am not that bad at all.
You're not. I love it.
So everybody can find you. I think we went through it. It's Bobbi Parker-Hall.
Hall. Yeah.
.com.
Yep.
Facebook is Bobbi
Parker-Hall. And then Modern Bodies Tribe is my group, but you can find it on Bobbi Parker-Hall. You can find Modern Bodies Tribe. It's just one of the group pages. And then Instagram's Bobbi Parker-Hall.
Yes. And what's your handle? Bobbi Parker-Hall?
Yeah.
On Instagram?
Yeah, because I was before I didn't know I was going to do a business on Instagram. So
you can always change your handle.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
That's true.
You can. Yeah. I changed my Instagram.
Maybe I should change it to Modern Bodies.
Yes. Actually, from a marketing standpoint, you should.
I will
change it to Modern Bodies, and you can do that. And I think because it matches your Facebook group, it's even better to do that, right? Because your Facebook group is Modern Bodies.
Yeah. Okay, everybody. So it's Modern Bodies.
Yeah. Like for
on Instagram.
It's Modern Bodies on Instagram. You can do that in a second. I can see that your beautiful husband he's in the background. He's going, okay, you guys done yet? But we are
Yes.
done. And thank you so much for telling your story, sharing your story, sharing your wisdom, and just being who you are.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
It was really fun.
Well, that's a wrap for another great episode of Generation Jones, Too Young to Be Old. I'm your host, Wendi Cooper, and I do hope you enjoyed the show. You can find more about me at generationjonespodcast.com, where you can leave me an email and suggest some topics that you would love to hear us discuss. Thanks for listening.